You should have known something was off when no one replied in the group chat. You asked twice, just to be clear. Hey, should I book my own room or is it part of the package? Silence. Then, emojis. A link to an outdated itinerary. A vague "we've got it covered" from your cousin who you've learned over the years is somehow always in charge and never responsible. You let it slide, because that's what you do. You assume the best. Stay low maintenance. Show up grateful.
You shouldn't have.
You arrive at the airport with your bags packed, sunscreen in your carry-on, and a playlist called Escape Finally. It's been a year. You need this. But when you go to check in, the desk agent squints at her screen. I don't see a reservation under your name. You blink. Give your last name, your confirmation code, your smile even. She tries again, then says, I'm sorry. There's no room booked for you. You stand there, still, quiet, almost embarrassed like you did something wrong.
You step aside and pull out your phone.
Text the group. Hey, no room under my name. Can someone check? Seen by 3. No reply. You wait. 5 minutes. Then 10. Still nothing.
You call your sister.
She answers, laughing at something in the background. Music. Glasses clinking. Hey, what's up? You ask calmly. There's a pause. Oh. Yeah. I think we assumed you weren't coming. Since you didn't confirm. I don't know, maybe we thought you were staying off-site? I never said that. Right. Yeah, weird. I'm sure we can figure something out.
You look at your luggage. At the waiting room filled with people who have places to go. You breathe, then hang up. You walk outside, stand by the curb, and let the wind hit you. It's not rage that bubbles up. It's that old feeling, the one you know too well. Left out, again. Like all those school projects you weren't picked for. Like the Christmas they forgot your stocking. Like the graduation dinner they never showed up to, blaming traffic. And this time, you're not walking back into it. You're walking away. You don't call a ride home. You sit down, open your phone, and Google something you bookmarked months ago, quietly, like a wish you weren't ready to make real. Commercial real estate boutique, hotels for sale. Your fingers move fast, not revenge fast, just sure. You filter by state, by location, by name. And there it is, the resort they're staying at, listed, quietly, discreetly, available. You open your email, message your attorney, then your financial advisor, then the broker. Subject: interested in immediate purchase. No partners. You don't feel petty. You feel in motion. They didn't book you a room. Fine. You'll book the building.
And this time, you won't ask to be included. You'll own the place they forgot you in. You don't tell anyone you've delayed your flight. Not your sister, not the group chat, not even your best friend who usually gets the play-by-play of your life. You let the silence settle over them like fog. Let them assume you're sulking, being dramatic, maybe still back home, nursing hurt feelings in your old apartment. But you're not. You're in a downtown cafe, laptop open 3 meetings deep into the most delicious pivot of your life. The broker replies within hours. The resort's owners are eager, burned out, tired of managing staff, tired of negotiating family reunions and yoga retreats. They're ready to walk. You're ready to land. You move quickly but professionally. You've done big deals before, just not one this personal. You schedule a private video call. The owners appear on screen in faded polos with polite smiles and even politer exhaustion. We are hoping to sell by end of quarter, they say. I can close by end of week, you reply. They blink, then smile. You've got the numbers, the funding, the experience. What you don't have is sentimentality, and that makes you their dream buyer. You spend the next day in documents, zoning permits, title verifications. You wire the deposit and sign the first round of paperwork from a WeWork overlooking the water. All the while, your phone buzzes in your purse. A message from your cousin. Hey, are you still coming? Just wondering if we should save you a dinner seat. You don't reply. You just smile. Because they think you're late. They don't realize you're about to arrive changed. The final signatures are arranged in person.
The resort's owners want to meet you. You take the red-eye flight.
Arrive at the hotel before sunrise. You wear something simple, black linen pants, a crisp white shirt, and silence. You check in under a different name. No one recognizes you.
Not yet.
The resort manager gives you a quiet tour. She's warm, capable, underpaid. You like her immediately. You ask her questions, take notes, make promises you intend to keep. Good lighting, better pay, flexible scheduling. You already know what it's like to be left out of things.
You won't do that here. You're shown to your suite.
Top floor, ocean view. You stand by the window and look down at the resort's courtyard.
There's your family.
Clustered in pool chairs. Loud, thoughtless, comfortable. You zoom in with your eyes and spot your sister's floral cover-up. She's laughing. She hasn't texted since we'll figure something out. You wonder what she'll say when she finds out what you figured out. The paperwork is signed on a weathered wooden desk in the resort's back office. It's yours now. All of it. The rooms, the lobby, the kitchen where someone forgot your breakfast.
The place they came to leave you out.
You didn't knock. You bought the house. And you have the keys. That night you sleep better than you have in months. Not because of the thread count. Because you didn't have to ask. You wake to the sound of waves, not notifications. For the first time in a long time, there's no sense of urgency. No need to chase clarity from people who pretend not to notice when they leave you behind. You stretch, breathe deep, and let the thoughts settle in your chest like warm tea. This place is mine now. Not rented, not borrowed, not requested. Mine. Downstairs, the staff meets you in the small side conference room, usually reserved for vendor reps and forgotten travel agents. The resort manager introduces you simply.
This is your new owner.
No gasp, no fanfare. Just eyes widening, backs straightening, and a few double takes when you speak with calm authority. You're not a mystery. You're just a new chapter. You outline your plans quickly. You're not here to flip the place into some influencer's beach club. You're keeping the soul, just adding structure, consistency, fair pay, better coffee.
You're not here to impress.
You're here to care, and they feel it. The kind of care that doesn't require them to earn it first. After the meeting, you head to the restaurant terrace for breakfast. Not in a rush, not hiding. You sit at a corner table with a clean view of the pool deck. There they are.
Your family.
Your cousin digging into pancakes like they don't make decisions. Your sister adjusting her sunglasses. Your dad mid-story gesturing like he's the only man in the world who's ever seen a sunset from a balcony. They still don't know. That's the best part. They're relaxing under umbrellas you now pay to keep clean. The waiter approaches your table nervously. He's young, fresh, probably worried you're here to critique. You smile. Take your time. I'm not in a rush. He exhales, smiles back. When he returns with your coffee, he says, "Let me know if you want anything off menu. We can make most things." You thank him. He doesn't know your name yet. That'll change. As you stir sugar into your cup, you watch your sister stand up, glance around, and spot you. There's a flicker of recognition, then confusion, then a half wave. You raise your glass. She walks over already mid-laugh. "Wait, what are you doing here?" You smile softly. "Just checking in." She tilts her head. "You flew in late." Something like that. She sits without being asked, starts recounting how they almost lost the hotel keys last night, how they almost booked you a room, how it's been wild as usual. You nod. You don't correct her. She's not ready yet. But the truth is walking toward her. You excuse yourself after a few minutes. Head to the front desk. Leave a new set of business cards with the concierge. They're simple, white with gold lettering. Your name, your title,
And the hotel's logo beside it.
Distribute these to department heads, you say. Right away, ma'am, the concierge replies. The ma'am lands softly, like respect without needing history. As you walk away, your phone buzzes. A message from your mother?
So glad you made it. We're doing dinner at 7. Want us to save you a seat this time.
You laugh. Quiet, dry, because this time they'll be dining in your building, and no one has to save you a seat. You've got the deed. You don't rush dinner. You get ready slowly, intentionally, like someone who isn't trying to be noticed but knows they will be. A silk dress, soft but structured. Minimal makeup, just enough. You pull your hair back not for elegance but for clarity. You want your eyes visible when the moment hits. You check your reflection once, then walk down to your own restaurant. They're already seated when you arrive. The long table near the back facing the glass windows and the ocean beyond. You count the chairs out of habit. One more than you remember. You smile at that. Someone at least thought you might still show up. Your sister spots you first. Waves you over with exaggerated relief like a sitcom character reuniting with a lost friend after a commercial break. Look who finally made it. You kiss cheeks. Exchange greetings. Let the moment stretch without filling it. Your mom stands and hugs you a second too long, like the warmth might erase the week she left you out. Your dad stays seated, wine in hand, gesturing vaguely to a waiter as if he's running the room. You pull out the empty chair. Sit. And say nothing. They start in with the usual. Small talk with sharp edges. Your cousin talks about his startup like it's an empire. Your aunt interrupts the server twice. Your uncle complains about the pillows, then praises the service for once. You sip your wine. The waiter places a second glass beside you without being asked.
You thank him by name.
Only your mother notices that. Halfway through the meal, a manager stops by the table, smiling, professional, clipboard in hand. Just wanted to thank you all again for staying with us, she says. And we're especially grateful to be under new ownership. Some big changes are coming. Your father raises an eyebrow. Ownership. The manager nods, eyes flicking to you for a beat too long. Oh yes, new owner flew in this week. Quiet transition, very exciting for the staff. And just like that, the spark catches. You feel it before they do. The air shifts. Your sister glances at you sideways. Your mother puts her fork down. Your cousin freezes mid-sentence. Your uncle's wine glass halts in midair. It's your dad who speaks first. What do you mean, new owner? The manager looks momentarily unsure, then recovers.
I assumed you knew. Your family, right?
And just like that, boom! The realization creeps slowly like red ink soaking through linen. They look at you again, but this time, it's different. Not passive, not patronizing, just quiet, weighty, like they've realized something they can't joke their way out of. You meet your father's eyes, smile softly, then reach into your bag and place a single business card on the table.
Your name.
Your title. Their hotel. No speech. No theatrics. Just that small rectangular truth between the napkins and the candlelight. No one touches it, but everyone reads it. You stand.
I hope everything's to your liking tonight, you say, looking at each of them.
And before anyone can answer, you add, if there's anything you need, just let my team know. You walk away. No one follows. And for the first time in years, you don't feel like the forgotten one at the table. You feel like the one who built it. You don't hear from them that night. No knock at your door. No follow-up text. No dramatic confrontation in the hallway with hurt feelings and half-baked apologies. Just silence. Exactly the kind you've lived in for years, but this time, it belongs to them. You sleep like a stone. The next morning, you return to your office, the one now carved out of a former bridal suite and converted with clean white walls, polished wood floors, and a view of the beach that makes meetings feel like mercy. Your name's on the door now, subtle frosted into the glass. You didn't ask for it. The manager added it without a word. Because respect doesn't need to be announced, it needs to be recognized. You start your day like any other leader. Check-ins with department heads, vendor updates, a debrief with the kitchen staff about their new menu rotation. Then a message. Front desk. Your father is in the lobby. Says he'd like a word. Alone. You sit back. Stare at the message. Then type.
Send him to the garden office. 15 minutes.
When he arrives, he's dressed like a man who's still trying to impress a room that no longer cares. Polo tucked in. Sunglasses pushed up like armor. You stand to greet him. He doesn't offer a hug, just a half nod. You always this quiet about power. You tilt your head, only when it speaks for itself. He sits across from you. His eyes scan the room. He clears his throat. I'll be honest. I didn't see this coming. You nod. I know. We didn't mean to leave you out, he offers. You give him nothing. He shifts. You could have said something. You meet his gaze. And when have you ever listened when I did? The silence that follows is thick, almost sacred. You let it stretch until it becomes a mirror. And then he does something unexpected. He exhales long, slow, and says, You really own this place. You reach into the drawer, pull out the deed, slide it across the table. He doesn't pick it up.
But he looks, reads the name on the bottom. Yours. No cosigners.
No in partnership with.
Just you.
Finally he leans back, scratches the side of his jaw. Well, he mutters, "That's something."
You nod again.
But this time it's not polite. It's final.
He stands, lingers.
Then says, "Do you think there's any way we could maybe switch rooms?" Your mother hates being by the elevator.
You almost laugh. You don't.
Instead, you rise slowly, walk to the door, and open it for him.
I'll see what I can do, you say.
And he hears it, not as an answer, as a boundary. He nods once and walks out. No handshake, no thanks. But slower than when he walked in. And that's enough. Not because you won, but because you didn't need to. The request goes through because you allow it. Not because you want to soothe them. Not because you owe anything. But because you've reached that rare altitude of power where grace costs nothing, and withholding it would mean they still own your peace. So yes, they get a better room, but they also get the understanding that it happened on your terms. And that shifts the air even more than the room upgrade. You stop by the concierge desk later that day, not to follow up, but to observe. You watch your family from a distance just for a moment, lounging by the pool now quieter, more composed, less performative. Their movements are clipped with the kind of restraint that only follows humiliation. Your cousin catches your eye and looks away too fast. Your mother wears oversized sunglasses even though it's cloudy. Your uncle avoids you altogether. The staff treats you differently now, too. Not with fear, with pride. The way the restaurant manager nods as you pass. The bellhop who straightens his jacket when he sees you. The way someone whispers to a guest near the bar and points up at your office window with quiet reverence. You didn't ask for this, but you designed for it. Later that evening, your sister knocks.
You already know it's her before you open the door.
She walks in slow, like stepping into someone else's life. "Wow," she says, glancing around. "So, this is where you've been." You offer her a seat. She takes it. Then she exhales, folding her hands in her lap. "You could have told me." You sit across from her. Calm. "I did. 1,000 times. Just not in words you wanted to hear." She nods. Doesn't argue. "That's new. I didn't know you were doing all this," she says. "I guess I thought you were figuring things out still." You lean back. "I was. Figuring out how to stop asking for space in rooms I was capable of owning." That one lands. You see it in the way she presses her lips together. She nods again. "I'm sorry." And for the first time, it sounds like a sentence and not a strategy. "I don't expect you to apologize for everyone else," you say gently. "I'm not," she says. "Just for me." That matters. Because the truth is, you were never angry at just the omission. You were angry at the pattern, how easy it was for them to forget you again and again, and assume you'd fold back in like linen after a trip. But this time, you didn't bend.
You bought the closet.
She stands to leave, then pauses at the door. "Does it feel good?" You pause. "It feels peaceful." She smiles. "Good," and walks out. No drama, no performance. Just understanding, late but real. You stay back. Watch the sun start to dip across the ocean. The lobby below hums with conversation and clinking glasses, and your name sits quietly on the deed. No spotlight, no vengeance speech, just presence. Real, immovable, yours. By the third day, they stop calling it a vacation. They don't say it outright, but you can see it in the way they move more carefully, less freely. Like people wandering through a space they used to treat as background, only to realize the walls now have ears, and a name that's not theirs.
Your name.
You hear murmurs, not loud ones, subtle. Between courses, near the lounge chairs. She really owns it. Why didn't anyone tell us? Is she going to keep it? You don't answer those questions, because they're not being asked to your face, and because you're not here to explain anything anymore.
That part of you is gone.
You spend your mornings working real work, staff meetings, vendor calls, HR restructuring. You're not playing hotelier for drama. You're actually doing the job.
And that's what shakes them most. You didn't buy this place as a stunt.
You bought it because you could.
Because it's a good business.
Because no one gets to be left out forever unless they accept that role. And you didn't.
You pass your uncle on the third-floor landing.
He nods. Doesn't speak. His silence is no longer superiority, it's strategy. He doesn't know how to be beneath you, but he knows he is. You nod back. No smile. No words. Let the imbalance sit. At dinner that night, the server greets you first. Welcome back, miss. He pulls out your chair. Your family watches. No one says anything. Not even your cousin who once made a joke at your expense that silenced the entire holiday table. He just folds his napkin too carefully and stares at the tablecloth like it might hold the power to reverse time. After the meal, your dad calls you over. Just you. Not in front of everyone. He waits until the crowd thins. The clatter fades, the wine has softened the edge of whatever he's been holding. He stands beside the garden wall, hands in his pockets.
You made a real statement, he says.
You tilt your head. Did I say something? He smiles a bit bitter. You didn't have to. You don't smile back. Because he's still treating it like theater. And you're just home. I was surprised, he adds. You nod. That makes two of us. He sighs. I guess I thought you were still trying to find your footing. You meet his eyes. I did. You just weren't looking when I found it. He flinches slightly, then shrugs.
Well, if you ever want help managing this, I'd be willing to lend a hand.
And there it is. The slow pivot from authority to assistance. From withholding to wondering how to stay relevant. You don't reject the offer outright. You just say thanks.
But I have a team.
He nods slowly. Looks out at the ocean.
Didn't see this coming. You take a deep breath.
I did. He doesn't argue. He just says, your mother cried yesterday. Thought you'd frozen us out forever.
You stay quiet.
Then say if she felt excluded, she finally knows what it's like. That shuts the conversation down. Not because it's cruel, but because it's true.
And you're not softening the edges anymore. You walk back to your room alone.
No anger in your chest.
Just quiet.
Just calm. Because the roles have reversed. And you didn't have to scream to make it happen. You just had to stop asking. You extend your stay by a week. Not out of pettiness, out of peace. The family checks out in 2 days. You've seen the emails from the front desk. You could stop them. Rearrange hold rooms, offer comps. You don't. Because this isn't about hospitality.
It's about honesty.
Let them leave on their own timeline. You'll be here after. Still standing. Still home. You spend the morning reviewing staff feedback. Anonymous surveys you implemented your first full day in charge. The kind of thing your family never bothered with when they played vacation royalty. The staff, they're relieved. Not just for raises or schedule consistency. For the fact that you see them. One of the notes reads, never thought someone like her would care what someone like me thinks. But she does. You reread it twice. Because that's what this is about. Not rooms. Not revenge. Respect. In the afternoon, your cousin corners you by the juice bar. He's fidgety in a way that looks new on him. Less swagger, more strategy. Hey, he says casual as ever. Just wanted to say this place is looking better than ever. You nod once. Thanks. We're just getting started. He smiles too wide. We could, team up sometime. My company's looking to expand our client perks. Travel tie-ins, concierge deals. Might be a good partnership.
You tilt your head.
Interesting. He takes the bait. We'd love to put together a proposal. I could send something over next week. You pause, then smile. I'll have my assistant take a look. He doesn't know you don't have an assistant yet. But that's not the point. He hears what you said. He hears it. Later that night, your mother shows up at your door. Alone. Hair done, eyes tired. She holds a small paper bag. Tea, she says. From that place you like.
You take it slowly. Thanks.
She looks around. Hesitates. Can I sit? You let her. She takes the chair across from you like she's on sacred ground. And maybe she is. Because this is the first time she's entered your space as a guest, not a judge. I just want to say I'm sorry, she starts. We didn't mean to leave you out. You exhale softly. She falters. I didn't mean to. I thought someone else was handling it. And when you didn't show, I figured, you figured I'd stay quiet, you say? She nods. Yes.
Silence.
Then, I didn't know how far you'd come. You fold your hands.
That's because no one ever looked.
She nods again. And then something almost miraculous. I want to be better. I don't expect you to make space for me. I just wanted to say that.
You meet her eyes. They're glossy.
But for once, not manipulative.
Just soft. You don't offer a hug. You don't say it's okay. You say, thank you, because that's what truth deserves.
Not wrapping paper.
Just recognition. She stands to leave.
Before she does, she looks around the room.
You did good. You don't say anything. You don't need to. The room answers for you.
So does the building. They check out quietly. No family photos in the lobby.
No loud farewells.
No poolside goodbyes. Just suitcases wheeled across tile floors and eyes that dart away when yours meet them. You watch from your office window, not hiding, not flaunting, just witnessing. One by one, they pass through the glass doors like guests who overstayed their welcome in a house they thought they owned. Your sister is the only one who pauses. She turns at the threshold, catches your gaze across the courtyard, and raises her fingers in a small, uncertain wave. You nod. That's all. Because some relationships don't need a full rebuild. Just a quiet acknowledgement that something broke, and both sides felt it.
You let the rest of the day breathe.
No meetings.
No emails.
You walk the property barefoot just before dusk, the way you used to when you stayed in places you couldn't afford, hoping that one day you wouldn't have to leave.
Now,
you're the reason no one else has to. The housekeeping manager finds you in the garden,
hands you a clipboard.
We're short one room key, she says. Someone left it behind.
You glance down.
Room 311. Your father's. You hold the key card in your palm. Feel its weight, its emptiness.
Then say toss it.
She smiles. You sure? You nod. We'll reprogram it. No one needs the old version anymore. You return to the terrace and sit by the edge of the fountain. Watch a family of strangers arrive, laughing luggage bouncing behind them.
They don't know who you are.
They don't need to.
They're here because you made it better. That's enough.
A staff member brings you a tea unsolicited.
Thought you might want your usual, she says, smiling. You thank her.
She starts to walk away, then turns. My old boss would have never sat here like this. Said the owner had to be above the noise. You raise an eyebrow.
And I'm not.
She grins. Nope, you're in it. That's why we like you.
You sip slowly. Taste the citrus.
Feel the peace settle not on your shoulders, but inside your ribs.
This wasn't revenge. This was revelation. You didn't rise to show them. You rose so you wouldn't shrink again. Your phone buzzes. A message from the hotel's original owner. Just a line.
Place looks alive again. You were the right choice.
You smile.
Because the thing they never understood was this. You weren't trying to prove them wrong. You were just trying to prove to yourself that they didn't define you.
And now, the resort feels different now.
Not because the guests have changed, vacationers still arrive in waves, sipping fruity drinks, lounging under umbrellas, but because you have.
The space no longer whispers, "Do I belong here?"
Now it says you do. Not because you claimed it. Because you created it. You spend your mornings walking the property barefoot in the early sun, greeting staff by name, asking about their families not as small talk but as investment. You walk by the front desk and see your business cards now displayed in a sleek, brushed metal holder. Not flashy, just undeniable. You didn't ask them to put it there. They wanted to. One afternoon, you sit with your leadership team in the garden courtyard going over expansion plans. You're adding a wellness wing, a retreat package, a scholarship initiative for hospitality interns. Someone says, "Do we have the bandwidth?"
You smile.
We didn't have the bandwidth for any of this when I got here. And they laugh. Because they know. At night, you take dinner on the balcony of your suite. The one you used to imagine from online photos. The one your family never thought to book you. You don't sit at the edge anymore.
You sit in the center.
Back straight. Fork slow. You're not hiding in corners of life hoping to be noticed.
You're here.
By design.
You pull out your journal. The same one you started 3 years ago, back when you wrote entries like,
"One day they'll see. One day I'll stop apologizing. One day I'll be allowed in.
Now you write. They didn't need to see. I did.
You close the journal. Breathe in the warm air.
Let the quiet carry you.
You think about the girl who once waited to be invited, who asked if she had a room, who would have accepted even the couch. She's gone now, not bitter, just complete. She no longer waits. She welcomes. You get up, turn off the lights, and stand for a moment in the silence.
No applause.
No fanfare, just the sound of your own calm heartbeat in a place where you were once forgotten, now owned, now home. Night settles like velvet across the sky, soft and sure. The world outside your window glows in dim golden pools, porch lights, hallway sconces, the subtle flicker of candles in the resort restaurant below. You sip tea from your favorite mug. Let the steam rise and disappear like all the questions you no longer ask. You don't need an invitation anymore. You are the room. And that quiet understanding rests deeper than triumph, deeper than applause. It lives where resilience lives, in the part of you that never needed to scream to be heard, only needed to stop whispering to yourself. It's not about revenge now. It's about rhythm, about learning to walk through your own doors without hesitation, to speak without checking the temperature first, to breathe without shrinking. What once hurt has softened. What once excluded has folded in on itself, becoming something smaller than you remembered. You're not standing on the outside anymore. You're sitting exactly where you belong, because you built the space no one gave you, and you filled it with grace. So, as the waves hush the edges of the night, and the stars blink without urgency, you let go of the weight you carried through too many rooms where your name was an afterthought. Here it's etched in the walls,
not as a warning, as a welcome. And some nights that is all the healing you need.
Some nights just lying still and breathing softly is enough to return home to yourself.